So today, I'll walk you through how to make trap beat like pro, and how to blend genres like Halazia, and how to blow it up with the final drop that hit hard. I'm going to open up 2 projects today, including the original project from the K-pop group Us, and I'm going to upload one of them for free on our Discord in Logic, Cubase, Ableton formats. Hey, it's Gamsung Sound. So the other day on our Discord, someone dropped a question. I would love to see an in-depth tutorial on how to produce a big ATEEZ style dance track. And actually, the producer of ATEEZ, Royal, is part of our team. So when we got that question, we were like, okay, let's go. And pause. In case you're not familiar with ATEEZ, which would honestly be shocking, here's a quick intro. They're one of the biggest K-pop group with a massive global fandom. They've hit #1 on the Billboard 200 twice so far. And their latest performance at Coachella received rave reviews for its incredible quality and stage presence. Anyways, today I'm gonna drop you some absolutely important tips on how to make a K-pop style hip-hop dance track. Listen guys, a lot of what I'm showing here is straight from our paid courses material. This is nowhere near the typical free tip stuff. Okay, so let's get into it. If you listen to tracks like Halazia, you hear that typical combo, which is 808 bass plus trap-style hip-hop drums. But here's the catch. In this kind of song, the mid-range is usually empty in terms of the instruments. Like no piano, no synth or stuff, you know? So that means drums and the bass do all the heavy lifting. So what does that mean for you? You have to know how to build pro-level 808s and drums. So this one is the first key point. And Halazia has something even more unique going on. The drum and bass ingredients are hip-hop, but the rhythm is straight up wild. Hear that? They're using a kind of Moombahton rhythm with the hip-hop ingredients. So here is an absolutely pro-level K-pop producing tip. Each section of your song must have fresh contrast in genre, rhythm, or sound texture. In Halazia, that contrast hits in the second verse. A Moombahton groove suddenly shows up. So this is why we recommend you to know how to work across multiple genres to pull these kind of things off in your track. So another key moment of Halazia is the final chorus. It goes off with that totally different drop section. And making that kind of drop, it's all about experience and data. There's a method to make this kind of drop sound. So today, I'll walk you through how to make trap beat like pro, and how to blend genres like Halazia, and how to blow it up with the final drop that hit hard. I'm going to open up 2 projects today, including the original project from the K-pop group Us, and I'm going to upload one of them for free on our Discord in Logic, Cubase, Ableton formats. So let's break down one of the most fundamental trap projects. Honestly, if you can make something at this level, it's pretty much impossible to work professionally in this scene. Okay, so first, let's listen to the kick. First of all, in hip-hop genres that use 808, the bass uses a very deep sub-frequencies, so usually the bass sits below the kick, okay? And the kick doesn't take up too much low end. But usually beginners, they just throw low end on both kick and bass, because they sound great individually, but together, they end up fighting each other, right? It happens all the time. But still, there are cases when you do want a heavy kick. In those cases, you will need to use sidechain or some other mixed technique or something, you know? So this section is a build-up section. So I kept the snare simple with no layers. Now you look at the 808 bass, you gotta choose an 808 with a lot of sub-frequencies. And then I layered it with another unique 808 to give it some more flavor, you know? There's way too many boring sounding 808s out there, you know? Like seriously, like why would people keep listening if it's the same old sound? And here's another good tip. From my experience teaching over 1,000 students, the biggest mistake beginners make is not understanding the placement of their bass. Like they use 808 but make them just like float around. Or even if they use sub-frequencies correctly, they don't give a flavor like a tasteful distortion or any movement to their 808s. I've seen way too many amateur producers doing this. Don't be like this. Your 808 needs to have movement and character just on its own. Oh, and you need to choose a killer theme that will become the core of this track. And then once the build-up ends, we're going into the drop part. of the most important rule is even just drum and bass in the drop parts should feel massive compared to the other parts. I took the kick from the build-up part like this. It's same kick, basically. And then I added texture kick to bring out more character. And then if you just copy it all and then paste it like this, man, that's boring as hell. You gotta think. You gotta give people some reason to keep listening to your song till the end, right? So if you feel your drum too repetitive, remove the texture for a moment, like this. Here, can you feel that? And throw in a reversed kick like this, or like something to keep exciting, you know? Oh, and then the weird effect you hear in the middle, it's from a plugin called Glitch. So I added a quick stretch effect here, since the track usually repeats every 4 bars, right? So you need to change it up every 4 bars, because no one wants to hear the same riff again and again. So like this kind of thing. And now we finally added in the 808 snare, like this. But the snare alone is still kind of boring, right? So we added a reverb track to spice it up. Then we throw in hi-hat track. But if you stop here, your drum section is gonna sound pretty weak. So now it's time to add what we call drum ambience. It's all those extra elements like loops or percussion or fills that go beyond just the kick, snare, hi-hat, you know. So when you hit play on just the drum and bass, you should be getting at least this level of sound quality. This is actually minimum level. This is not even the best. It's just a demo stage. But I've met a lot of people who've been doing music for years, but most of their drum tracks still don't hit like this. I'm giving this project away for free on our Discord, so please take your time to really explore all the details we've done here. This is the original project of Dialogue Amigo by K-pop group ONEUS. This is a Moombahton dance track using trap and hip-hop drums elements and 808, just like Halazia. And from my point of view, this is the perfect example. Okay, let's break it down. First up, the 808 bass. It's kind of a little unique sound compared to other tracks. And then we layered it with a synth bass. So we designed the 808 and synth bass to play in call and response style, you know? That's one of the most important techniques in music production we always highlight. So now the drums. Since we're hitting a Moombahton style vibe, right? So we used house style kick that has more low end. But since it's still hip-hop based, the main snare is a classic 808 snare. And now for the Moombahton sauce. Like this, you know? So for those kind of like sauces, hoop on the splice and search Dembo. Then you can find this kind of like category like this. Or, this is a really good tip, search Dave Nada. He's just pure Moombahton god. His sample pack is amazing, seriously. Whoa. Wow, the punch. Okay, anyways, you gotta layer in those kind of like wooden or Latin style textures. So look at what we've got so far. Like this kind of 808 snare. And this kind of Moombahton sauce. And this one as well. So all the drums so far are standard, you know, in mono. So if you finish your drums like this, your whole track is gonna sound so tiny. So that's why you need stereo element in also the drum part. So here's the one I used. Right, can you feel that? If I play kick and snares. And then we drop hi-hat, perfect for the trap sound. And then also we need to add in the drum ambience, like this kind of loop, and then the second drum loop, any fills, some effects. Okay, and then the bass. And we added acoustic guitar here. And the pizzicato string. And maybe there will be legato strings here. And the main flute theme. And finally, this kind of step brass for the fire. And now, this is a really important part. What do Balak Amigo and Halazia have in common is a finer chorus with a totally new drop section that slaps. And the secret to making this kind of drop is change the rhythm. Human beings react way more to the rhythm shift than chord progressions or the melody shift. So this kind of drop section always needs different rhythm that makes your body move, you know? So first of all, we switch the kick to super impactful kick. And we layered cinematic snare sound like this. Maybe marching snares to build up the energy. There you go. And of course, we designed 808 with much more movement. Here, listen to that. So the key to make this kind of 808 is short note versus a long note. So this is gonna be the short note of the bass and the long note, you know, and then short, long. This kind of like, you know, always contrast is the key, you know, in terms of the structures, in terms of the bass note, in terms of the, you know, piano, everything, you know. And of course, your drop needs a killer lead sound. Where is it? Killer lead sound, like that. And what's next? Never repeat the same sound for more than 4 bars. So in the bar 5, finally hi-hat and step brass comes in to take it to the next level, you know? So now here's another fact most amateur producers don't know. When it comes to this kind of drop section, it's not about just music. Think about it. It's about performance. So that means it's made for the artist to dance or perform on the stage, right? So it's gonna match their movement. Just sounding cool is not enough. So if your track doesn't serve the performance, actually, I'm sorry, but you're not considered to be a professional in this scene. You feel that? This is what actually professional producers like us actually do every day. Yeah, it is a creative job, but it also has to be a 100% calculated and intentional. So this full project includes instruments and plugins like this and mix all the things. So it's available on our website. You can download it on our website. Oh, and we also have the vocal mix project of this song, and it's seriously crazy. Okay, look at that. This is the vocal mix project. Look at that. Those are all vocals. This is the instrumental track. And then except this one, everything is all vocals. Everything is all vocals. And then can you see the all plugins here? And if you open up this automation lane, what? Can you see this? Oh, baila, baila conmigo. 나와 발을 맞추고 이 밤이
밤이 새도록 발랄 conmigo, migo.
So the thing is, amateur producers easily think that they can just slap some plugins on the vocals and then call it professional vocal mix or something. But just look at this. Our main vocals and then chorus and the doubling and then automations, the sand automations here. These are all the sand track. So it's basically like a producing full track, just with a tons of vocal layers, you know? But still, you know, so many people still think a vocal mix is just slap on some few plugins and then that's it. But that's not even close to what pros actually do. And especially in the pop music, vocals are everything, most important part, right? So vocal production and vocal mix is crucial. Like all these kind of automations.
오늘이 갈 때까지 나와 춤을 출래. I'm alive. 이 순간 난 살아있는 걸 느껴. Show it this. 어차피든 오늘 하루만큼은 난 날 춤춰. Yeah. 내 마지막까지. 차가워진 맘엔 불을 지펴. 타올라라라라라. 발라 발라 conmigo. 손은 점점 가빠지고. Don't stop.
Suddenly get dry, right?
마지막 춤을 every day, every night. 발라 발라.
And throw a reverb and delays, right?
발라 발라 conmigo. 나와 발을 맞추고. 이 밤이 새도록 발랄 conmigo, migo.
Yeah, it's basically like producing a full track with tons of vocal. So I decided to share this project too. It's on our website. Actually, one of my team members told me that, are you sure to open this one? And I'm like, yeah, I don't give a shit. So anyways, maybe I should make a whole tutorial video just on this project, right? There are a lot of mixed technique here too. Okay, so we looked at the examples similar to Halazia today. Don't forget to join our Discord to download free project. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.